Well, we made a lot of improvements over the years, Don. You know, I've been here going on 42 years, and I'm sure there's a lot of changes before I got here, but I know that when I came here, we had one delivery point, and that was at the Kelso substation on the 161, and now we've got 4 throughout our system, which is a great improvement. Allows us to do several different things, get a lot of contingencies now, a lot of redundancy. On water and wastewater, we keep making improvements and got a lot of continuation of that that's going to be happening. We just got approved for $11 million. I hope that we're able to get that funding too on the water side. On the gas side, we're doing the same thing as far as improvements and making more contingency redundancies available. And then on the telecom side, we keep expanding on the fiber, and you know, with all the changes that we're making with new technologies, and because that's what we're going to have to be able to communicate and work, you know, at home and those kinds of things. Well, next year we'll be starting on our load forecast, and then we'll do a long-range study out to 20-25 years on the electric side. We'll be coming up with another work plan that's probably going to be close to about $14-15 million on the improvements on the electric side. We'll also be looking at 5 to 6 years on the water, wastewater, and the gas as well. A little bit different on how the funding takes place in those services. Telecom, we keep making changes, we keep expanding. Got to get more internet, we're going to get more speeds available. That's the reason we went to the all-digital platform. So we're going to keep improving, and you always heard me say, you know, what's good enough today is not good enough for tomorrow. That's very, very true. You know, used to people would say you got to think outside the box. I'm telling you right now, you can't think inside the box. You got to be outside the box in complete time. Diversity and innovations is a big plus. We're getting a lot of younger folks in here, different ideas. That's what you want. You know, we got some, not that we have an older generation that works here that's been here like myself. It's been here a long time, and everything kind of gets stagnant over time, so you won't change, and we invite change, and that's increasing the way that we have to think about things. Another good example of that, if it's in the gas or if it's in the water, wastewater along with electric, you can't just go out and train in the field, on the spot, and be a qualified, certified employee of doing your job. It's more than that today. It's a lot of schooling, a lot of testing. Those kinds of things are required today to get you with the new technology, what you have to learn to do your job. With water, we made a long line of improvements. Used to, you know, the water quality, it was still good. It met the qualifications, what was required. And then to be certified, but now what you have to have in place today, being sure you offer good health, quality drinking water has totally changed from where it used to be. And we have to keep improving those things to be sure that we have safe, quality drinking water. Well, the challenges you face really amounts to doing the right thing. You know, really, if you got overflows, if you got manhole problems, if you got infrastructure problems, you can't have it running on top of the ground, you can't have it running in the ground, you know, but what you have is if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. What we're finding doing our camera smoke testing, that we got a lot of problems throughout the entire city. Made a lot of improvements, but we've only hit anywhere between 15 to 18% of it, so we still got a long ways to go for improvements on replacing the infrastructure on the water and the wastewater. It's very, very important. What APA requires you today, TDEC, what they require you today has totally changed almost 180 degrees. So we have to be ready for those changes. We want to be ahead of the changes when they come out. We want to be prepared for those changes, and that's what we try to be. Natural gas, we have some redundancy now on natural gas, which you know, it happened a few years before I ever come in here about the other feed that comes out of Ardmore. But you know, we keep expanding on natural gas services, especially in the Ardmore area. And people like it, you know, and we keep expanding. Like I said, we try to have a 4 to 5 year work plan of replacing old gas lines to get all that done and put in place, as well as what we do with any other infrastructure that we have. Telecom is like anything else, you know, when you get into business of services, it's very expensive of expanding, especially on the fiber side. But you know, with today's grants that's become available, you know, we apply for them. We haven't been lucky enough to get picked, but we hope this year it's going to change, you know, by the next year when we find out if we get the grant or not. But you know, you got to have the funds to be able to expand, or, you know, if customer input, if they want to expand, want to come down and discuss, see what it would cost to get something built, we'll do that as well. We do it on the other infrastructure as far as water and the gas and along with the electric. to have like what we call native construction to come in and build, the infrastructure there. And a lot of times now we're talking to other customers. If you want to participate, if you pay a portion, this pays a portion, and they all end up with the telecom services. And sometimes FPU is available at times, depending on how many homes are passed, if how much we can spend on the project. Well, the new structure of what we put in place for the tree trimming, we're getting more aggressive on how we cut the right-of-ways to get more clearances and those kinds of things. We have gone in-house tree trimming. We've hired some folks to come in and do some tree trimming. Got to purchase a lot more equipment to get it done, but that way we can work on it at our pace and get it all done all year long. Where with contractors, once you run out of funding, you're out of the funds, so you might get trimming for 6 months, and we can do it for 12 months. That's our goal. A lot of our faults are actually caused by trees, especially the temporary faults, and we hope to get that taken care of to increase the system of keeping the power on that much more. Well, the meter readings come a long ways, because it used to be old mechanical meters. You had to go out, read the meter at the dials, write it down, subtract and add, and all these kinds of things to come up with what the usage was on the kilowatt hours. Same thing on our three-phase network metering. Today we can read almost every meter from the office, and still working out a few kinks that that we got on that system, but it's getting better. Which we also know that your readings coming in get a lot better when it gets toward the winter, because your foliage comes off the trees. And we hope when we spend a fiber that that would help on the communications part of that. But it's come a long ways. Our metering department is cut less than half with people, and that's helped too. And we're able to use some of these folks in other departments that we need help. So it's paying off for itself, especially running the truck up and down the road, doing the gas. We still have to go out and check and inspect and those kinds of things, because you still got to work on them. But the meter infrastructure has changed quite a bit. As far as our warehouse, we try to have supplies on hand. You never know when something could happen, but at the same time, if we know that it's fixing to come a big flood, or if it's fixing to come a tornado, even if they surround us somewhere, because it's not only that if you have the supplies here, but if something did happen here, with all these other areas is having, lots of damages, whatever the infrastructure may consist of, we want to be sure we still got the items in stock, because you might not get an item where if it took 3 weeks to get it, it might take you 12 weeks to get it, or you might not get it at all. It just depends on the demand of what's needed. Like the crews we just sent over to West Tennessee, they had better than 300 poles down. That's a lot of poles. We don't stop. We got 300 poles, but you got different size poles. You might need 340 class 5s or something like that, but that's including fuel too. Anytime we know if there's something coming up, there could be a problem with the fuel, or the cost, or the availability of fuel, we try to be sure that we got everything full at the time to be prepared to do our work. The county department is very involved in our financial situation. We do bond closings, those kinds of things. We have a quarterly budget meeting. Where we are, where we need to be. If it's not where we need to be, we'll make changes to get where we need to be very quickly, to be sure we stay on top of all that. But you can't get yourself in a bad situation, where it's going to cost you over time. We got to be sure that we take care of everything that we got to take care of, do the right thing. But they're very busy. Our county department has got several folks in it now that takes care of certain things, running 4 different businesses. And you have to keep all the books separate, because you can't commingle funds, so it brings more responsibility in the county department as far as accountability to those folks. We're going to do the right thing. It don't matter what it takes, we're going to do the right thing. We got over 18,000 electric customers. With everything combined, you're talking about better than 32,000 customers out there as far as working up a bill. But it is one utility bill, which has helped a lot. When we consolidated, that's helped everything out tremendously as far as having a one-stop shop. It's paid off for itself, and we still keep making changes of how we can provide that service, and it's going really good. I'd like to really say a few good things. They really done us a good job, and that's with State Representative Pat Marsh, Rick Tillis, Senator Reeves. They've all helped us out tremendously. Not only on the telecommunication side as far as the internet tax and all these other taxes that they've helped out on, but helping us get this broadband grant. They put a lot of input into it as well for us to apply, but they help us out in several different other areas, and we really appreciate everything they do for us. The safety is number one. I'm real strict on safety. We do have a safety person that goes out and inspects all these kinds of things, well, their job performance, even walking through the building, outside the grounds, or wherever. But safety's got to be number one, because it's very, very important. The ones that show up to go to work that day go home the same way they showed up. That's very, very important, not only to me, the entire community, the family. I've seen where that's hadn't happened, and it don't turn out too good. But you try to be as safe as you can, follow all the safety rules, but they'll all tell you, you break a safety rule and we got a real problem. When it comes to engineering, you stop up front, you get with customer service, up there on the engineering side, apply for service, or if it's a job to be done, we'll go out and stake it, talk with the customer, stake the lines out, or if we got underground, we got to go out and wheel measure. As far as the water and the wastewater, all services actually, that we can talk about at one time. We try to sell all services to the customer when they come in. If all services are available, we try to make sure we do a good job of that. FPU, I love for us being involved in the community. Relay for Life, Heart Walk. This year we participated quite a bit in Junior's House, and we do the food drive, the bicycles for the schools. We support all the schools as far as the programs that they offer to all the students, because it's all about the kids. That is the future. So we try to participate in that, helping to get the kids where they need to be, and we do everything we can to help the kids. Our month of service project this year consists of working with Junior's House, getting and collecting toys, toiletries, paper towels, all those for these kids that go through there. And unless you go over and talk or find out or do a little digging, you actually don't know what they do for this community. And I was really amazed at what all they do, and it really got me on board with it. And I really enjoyed going out one Saturday morning and shopping myself, but it was great for the employees to participate like they did. Ended up putting close to $2,000 in this project with the employees and the community input and FPU's input, so it turned out to be a real great project for them. We try to keep the community as well as informed with all of our tools that we have. We got the website, we have Twitter, we got Facebook, we got Channel 6 programming. We also inform the community about what's going on in the paper. The Student Utility Board has brought on a lot of challenges. The students get very involved. They have a chance and opportunity to participate to see what all FPU does in a different aspect of just coming on, sitting on board, and different people talking. They can get involved in what actually it takes to provide that service. Hoping someday, they will come and try to apply for a job, or come back home, want a good job, pays good money, and a lot of that will be available at some point in time, and want them interested. And if they're not working through the summer or something, we got some students now that's coming to work for us that's been on the Student Utility Board through the summer and the holidays and those kinds of things. It's worked out very well. Amount of Head Start, we participate in that group as well. This year the employees went over, read to some of the kids that were over there. They really enjoyed that. Our employees really enjoyed that. Another aspect is how our Student Utility Board gets involved toward Christmas, and we'll bring gifts in, and they'll do the wrapping and carry and deliver, and those kinds of things to help those kids out as well. All right, I'd like to say many thanks to our employees. They do a great job of what they do. There's a lot of dedication there from all the employees, a lot of initiative. Our board as well is very supportive of FPU. They're very involved on the strategic planning. We're making changes to the handbook that's well overdue, that needs to be changed, and they're very involved with that. But you can't ask for anybody to be more supportive than our employees than the board of FPU. And as well as the customers, we got great customers. We'll try to do everything we can to provide a good service to every customer that we can, and as quick as we can. But number one thing that we got to keep in mind as well is when we're out working, regardless of the weather or whatever situation may be, we also got to be safe at the same time.